Black. Another pick here, this time onto Jung-Ah, and it looks like MVP Black is going to end this game there on the core. No way out for L5, and MVP Black is going to be the first to take a point on the scoreboard in this best-of-5.
They look scary today. They have really ironed everything perfectly against L5, as they actually dropped the map against Blossom, which was quite unexpected. They want to bring this 3-0 out of all, and L5 looks quite puzzled after game number 1.
In Black's series against Blossom, they did not play any Illidan outside of game number 1. It was on Dragonshire that they played the hero yet again. That was where they took the first point onto the scoreboard in that series. But it was L5 actually who had Tempest targeting ban Illidan against them. But against Miracle, already teams had learned, I need to be target banning the Illidan. We saw Mighty doing it.
That's right.
This is something that I think may evolve into this series. L5 may just remove the Illidan, but it's scary when you don't have... Most people don't consider Illidan to be an S-tier hero. He's almost there right now. He's not a permaban hero. He needs a lot of different tools to work with. S-tier heroes are heroes like a Nubrock or Uther, with no matter what you build into your comp, he's going to be good Genji as well. And when you have to put Illidan into the first ban, that unlocks other opportunities for Black to have those other top-tier heroes. They can get the Nubrock more often. They can get the Uther more often if you have to ban the Illidan. So it's sad and frustrating when you do have to start considering that Illidan ban, but it's just a win for Black in every way.
And also, with that win, I think they will go into the second pick, and very likely, and they can grab 2 this time, not just Illidan. And from the support, they've been removing support so often, but this time I think there will be a change. As you mentioned, if they ban Illidan, they can leave all the supports open, grab that Uther, grab Ariel. Maybe we'll see the Cho'Gath once more coming out from MVP Black. From what I remember, one of the StarCraft maps is still open, and I think it's Braxis too. So
that's right, it is Braxis. Warhead was the one that was banned.
Ooh, I want to see that fire coming in. L5 seemed very uncoordinated, as maybe Emerald Wind could have been the better option when there was so much dive coming in, and we were expecting Emerald Wind coming out from Swoi too, but at the end it was heal instead for his own escapes. No ice blocks either with the heal coming in. But let's just put that aside, as we're going into game number 2. It is going to be Battlefield of Eternity, and MVP Black wants to snowball this series.
That they do. Battlefield of Eternity, historically always one of MVP Black's best maps. It's scary to think that if they take this series 3-0, they might jump into Cursed Hollow right after this, which would be just as scary, I think. This map, not as Malthael focused as we thought it would be, not being first picked here, but he is very important. He has been picked 100% on this map, 100% involvement on this map since his release this week. So I expect that that's going to be a big defining factor here as MVP Black has chosen the map. To take a look back at their older drafts, they did first, in their first rotation, build it on BOE against Blossom. It was also their map pick for game number 2 there. L5, on the other hand, did the same. In their second pick rotation, they took Malthael first. So both of these teams picking the Malthael when given the first opportunity to do so without banning it. And you have to imagine if L5 leaves it open, Black will do the same yet again if they don't take it in that first rotation. And here comes the Illidan ban already.
Here we go. It's not decided, but it seems very, very likely after getting punished in game number 1. There we go. Opening up Malthael, though. Not just Malthael, a lot of the picks. Genji. 2 dives are banned, so less likely it's going to be less of a divey comp.
So, no one is first picking Malthael on this map. He has not been first picked on this map by any team, but he has been second picked.
Yeah.
So, Black picked it second against Blossom. L5 picked it second against Tempest. And you have to imagine Black will continue this trend. With a Nubrock available, Nubrock, Malthael seems to be a very solid set of options. Trying to think of alternatives, because this has been so... It has been the rule. It's like more true than gravity, is that you take Malthael in this rotation in Korea. And I wonder what other considerations come in. Remember, Black has prioritized Li Ming for reset on this map many, many times, so maybe they're thinking Malthael, Li Ming, then you control all aspects. You give up the a Nubrock when you do that, but they can give up the Nubrock in a different way and go down the Vala path. This is not what L5 is expecting.
This is weird. They're forcing an Ariel ban too. Because they went for Vala to Astar. Maybe this is just Vala for the bait, and they may actually go for something else and have Vala just not going for the Q build, or even going for just to use her as a team fighting tool instead. Not all in Vala come, and I think they're trying to bait L5 into it.
Yeah, it could be a gray main pick coming out with that as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be solo DPS Vala, or the solo range DPS Vala, of course. L5 left available both the Anub'arak and the Malthael. Not a lot of synergy, though, when you think about the 3 heroes you're bringing into your draft. Malthael, Uther, and Anub'arak starts to feel like you're a bit lopsided, and you're giving away all forms of solid DPS to the side of MVP Black. Malthael will be good in the Immortal race, but not against anything else. They will take him with the Ariel, so it's going to be double support on the side of L5, specifically to deny that Trinity for MVP Black. This is a weird choice. And the only time we've seen this double support Uther Ariel, this has happened before, was with the exact pick that you see banned by MVP Black. MVP Black, such a great drafting team, done their research. They've seen the Uther Ariel with the Cassia as the main DPS with Malthael. We've seen this specifically, this one niche hero, and Black insta-locks it. They're already prepared.
Yeah, they're prepared. It seems like L5 took the bait in hard. I can't wait to see the later 3 picks of MVP Black. They are prepared for today's match for sure. L5, a decent ban will be against Malthael, some of the poking the ranged ones, because Malthael's still a melee with the support. With the double supports, we'll have a lot of sustain, but once you get CC with burst damage with Vala and maybe some stitches coming out also with the pair of CCs, and burst damage coming out from Grey Main.
I like the Malfurion ban here, and I like a Grey Main ban. The Malfurion ban is just okay, we're gonna choke the supports. The Twilight Dreams that we saw from Kyocha were teamfight defining in the last game on Dragonshire. So it also is a soft ban on the stitches you described. So that's another thing, because there's not really much other forms of CC chain for stitches to make sure you have the follow-up DPS.
Stukov for the silence. Not yet!
Not yet. I'm hoping, I've got fingers crossed when he will be playable a week after release. That's my what's the RNG thing? That's my bless RNG. G-Guff and I just talk in Twitch emotes when we're off camera, so that's why I bring them up.
They're not lying for sure. So, and they have to show what they are made of. Of course, the percent damage will be very high coming out from Malthael and double sustain. Maybe bringing the Chromie would be possible, but they would lack in sustain somewhat.
He's going to bring the Tyrael in for extra protection for Vala. Lucio is going to be the main support here. With not a lot of CCs on the side of L5, the lack of cleanse is not going to be a problem. It's going to be for the longer sustained fight here. And for L5 now, I feel like, again, kind of scratching heads, trying to figure out what's the best way to go around this. Li Ming is still available for controlling poke when you have the lead, because Malthael will always have the lead.
And also, I think Black is considering taking Li Ming at the very end. That's a very good... It's a safe team comp against what L5 has right now. So I think taking away Li Ming is a solid option also with the double support. But they will be lacking in the front line. The front warrior line with less tankiness will be the problem. Maybe they're also thinking about Grey Main.
I think you can take Grey Main here, and this is kind of a weird thing to say, but I think Diva is not out of the question for L5 either. You mitigate a lot of the damage coming out from Vala, kind of shut her down. You have really strong heroes to push down the Immortal. It's going to be Lunara Stitches. So they do have the follow-up detainment strikes around the Immortals, and they have Uther's Hammer of Justice. And it's just going to be the top-tier Stitches pick here. Not the crazy Diva coming out that we've seen on this map a few times, specifically used by Mighty.
Even with Stitches, not much of a burst damage, so to say, for L5's side. Oh, and we were forgetting about MVP Black's Tracer. So much DPS. Harassment onto Malthael will be real in this game.
Yeah, Malthael needs to have protection. When Tracer has the Pulse Bomb available and he thinks he's going to solo that Immortal, or maybe Lunara comes over to help, that's when Tracer's going to look for the punish play. Tracer so good against both Lunara and the Malthael. I think Black crushed this draft. L5 wanted Cassia. They thought perhaps Black wouldn't understand the niche pick that we see so rarely, but Black insta-banned it because they know how well this works with the Auriel support here with Uther, almost an unkillable Cassia, but it was removed. As we go into game number 2, we'll see if L5 can tie things up. In blue, Team L5. Hooligan on Stitches, SC on Lunara, Junga on Malthael, Auriel being played by STE, and Swoys on the Uther.
Red MVP Black. Reset on Vala, Sake on Tassadar, Kyocha on Lucio, Rich on Tracer, Tist on Tyrio.
So, this will be the first time that MVP Black has Kyocha main support instead of playing the Tracer. Kyocha was known for being the secondary DPS who played Tracer.
That's right.
The flex. But now it's going into a more appropriate role. The high skill cap that Rich has with the hero is going to make more sense here. Even though Tracer was a fearsome hero for Kyocha in the past, I think this is the better option here for Black. And Rich has definitely been improving on the heroes. She's rising up quite highly in popularity in Korea right now. So I like this quite a bit, that they would be able to sacrifice Kyocha. Like, oh, I really want to play that hero. But it doesn't make sense to have Rich on the Lucio. He has to be the Tracer player here. So we're going to see these trades at level 1 coming out. No shock, no surprise here. Junga, though, dying is a bit of a shock. Perhaps overextending there. And this is kind of a lane swap-esque move for Black because they want to just go and 4-man the Malthael because he's so powerful. You basically don't lose lane with Malthael, so they just said, well, we'll flip the lanes, and you'll be 1v4, so they'll have to switch it around, and by that time, Black's already got an advantage.
That's exactly what they did, and L5 made the right choice of lane swapping after losing 1 kill. They don't want to give any more kills. So there's a lane swap with the top and the bottom. Of course, more EXP lead with the structures for MVP Black and also the kill. There's a new Summer Tracer with the mount. Perfect one for the summer.
Mount synergy, skin mount synergy, so important.
It makes your hero so much stronger.
Undervalued in Hero League for sure. Usually highly valued by the teams here. I'll never forget TNL all with the Cloud9 mounts. But Black gets a half-level lead from their lane swap with a 4-man against Malthael. And we're going to go into this Immortal fight. We'll see if the Malthael can get value here, as Rich is already very low on health. They're just going to dive in and invade this super hard. Already getting a lead, but as you can see, Malthael is finding a lot of damage. Where's the Pulse Bomb? Where's the gank attempt? That's the big question. It's only Tastar down there who's harassing him to get more level 1 stacks.
It's a little harder with Tastar down there, but does harass Malthael out of the way. It seems like Malthael is backed up for the moment.
Going to see the commitment here for L5 to attack the lane, which buys MVP Black a few thousand hit points on this race.
Race isn't too bad for Black because they have the Q-Vala going all the way in.
Yeah. They also have a lot of poke with Rich here, who's instead of ganking Malthael, is just leaving Tastar to get free stacks while harassing him there. So kind of a funny way this works, as Sake goes down there, harasses, gets the free stacks, and will just basically allow MVP Black to poke at this Immortal, chip it down, and they're winning the race pretty hard. And I don't know if L5 is going to be able to catch up here. They're going to try to invade to stop this. Asake just completely avoids this. Tons of extra damage coming down here, though, from Lunara in this choke point, really showing the pick to get value. When you're on the attack at this specific phase, Lunara is so powerful in this tiny choke point, as you guys can see.
And they do have the sustain. Looks like Tis wants to sacrifice himself for more later damage with the trait.
Not enough, though. STE gets one more heal off, and they're still going to win this, it looks like, but it's not the massive win they wanted. Still worth the sacrifice there. The MVP teams have always prioritized the objective on this map over kills and over experience points, so that's the reason why he just dove in there. He could have, if he thought he wasn't going to get the kill, actually, onto Swoy, actually just blown up on the Immortal, which would have still been decent. So a nice choice overall by MVP Black. They win this just slightly, but it's going to give them an extra lead in EXP as this works on the wall.
Yep, and L5 actually lost the first one because there's lots of potentials, and all the range damage is what's limiting. Malthael can actually join in the teamfight and do more damage, but because there's so much range damage from MVP Black, he cannot even get near them and do so much damage. So Jungha made the right choice to be on the other side safely and do tons of damage to get the shields out onto the first Immortal. Okay, they will be going for a little more pressure actually. Lag is not leaving the bot lane. Since Rich came into the team, they've been so much more aggressive compared to before. They are still focusing on the macro at the same time, but their power and the speed, the tempo that the team has risen up by, I'd say, about 25%.
I would have to say that, you know, when you look at who's on the team now, it feels like the old MVP Black more than the one that we saw at mid-season
Rich is
brawl.
caught, but Rico barely saved him there.
And all the slows coming out here. He will escape regardless, doing a lot of extra damage, but the aggression in the bot lane here, not finding anything with it. L5 dealing with it very well, and because they committed so many resources to that aggression, L5 wins the fight and will win this siege camp as kind of a bonus prize for their defensive efforts here. Malthael versus Tastar in the top lane now is going to be the matchup. Not a shocking one, as Tastar can kind of out-shield a lot of that damage, doesn't have a large health pool but can escape, and he has good wave clear. So it's obviously Malthael will still win, but not too bad for the Tastar.
Of course, Tastar has a pretty good wave clear, so can also clear wave pretty quick. They're actually going for this camp a little bit.
It's a perfect timing of the camp for the Immortals, so they got it first. L5 realized this and go take theirs, so no EXP lost on the side of Black, and it's actually a 5-man camp for L5, perhaps worried that MVP Black would invade, so more timid, so Black gets the faster camp to get the lead on that, and they got extra EXP because they only sent 3 to clear camp, leaving 2 in the top, 1 in the top, 1 in the bottom. So very well played by Black now, and pushing their way towards level 10. Going to even clear this way before they even touch the Immortal. It's going to be defensive blue side defense here for L5, so tougher for MVP Black to do what they did on the last Immortal phase and get that massive lead.
Yeah, Rich has been doing some damage. Scratches onto the Immortal because they also want to take this fort down and maybe go make this into a very, very long fight so they can hit 10 before L5.
Tastar just smashing up there in the top lane now that they won the he won the Merc battle, so just Malthael having to try to struggle to deal with him and the Mercs while Tastar just auto attacks. They're looking for a gank in the top lane too even. Malthael has to leave, and this is going to guarantee the fort. Very well played by Rich to come over here, realize this. So they gain extra EXP while L5 is unable to find anything in the bot lane comparatively. And they could even be collapsed upon here. Look at Jungha on the minimap. He's just kind of awkwardly back in the main base, had to tap. He's just completely out of the map. Might as well be dead for what influence he has in the game right now. Finally coming back after the tap. Only getting mana from that tap even.
Ooh, the hooks from Hooligan today so far in game number 2 has not been so good, only hooking minions a few times.
Yeah, tough against the mobility when you have the Lucio speed boost, plus you have Tracer there. Bala with the dodges. Jungha is going to be the first to fall here. Sanctification now available for Black after this, and this is going to be them going in deep. Rich is going to dive in onto SDE. He will get away just barely. The parting gift not enough. Well, they get the kill, of course, at the end onto Swoy. The triple, the level 10, they're going to get the massive lead in shields on the Immortal. And G-Clef, this looks like a more dominant game already than even our first one.
We can already tell that this team knows how to snowball. They know how to snowball. When they have a smallest lead into the game, they will use that against you. Look at that. They had the EXP lead. They were looking for the fort. They knew they had the lead the moment they hit 10. The moment they hit 10, they chose the heroics and went all in. That's MVP Black.
Quick reaction, man. Everyone's got their Twitch fingers to control click, 1 or 2 for the heroics they want. Tap them in and smash that fight. A nearly full shielded, about 80% Immortal here is going to have a massive amount of ranged attacks. This fort is not long for this world, especially when you consider the poking power of Q-Vala and Tracer's ability to harass anyone who tries to punish their aggressive positioning. Look already at the position we see here from Tist. Hook is on, not a good target here. Tist is coming around the backside, looking for the Aldruins in, looking for that extra damage, with the smite coming down, giving everyone the boost. Perfect positioning here. We do see Divine Storm, not what Tracer expected here. Rich will fall, but the fight is not over, as Swoy is going to be the next to go down.
And Kyocha did get gorged, but the speed boost is real, and seems like he will go down at the end of the day, and Reset is looking for his life too, and Jungha is just soul ripping out of them.
Sake Looks to potentially Hearth here, actually gets the shield over the wall to save his teammate. Decides not to Hearth and will escape, but all I can say is, damn. That was a surprising pick on the, well, not really a surprising pick, but perhaps caught Rich off guard with the Divine Storm. That was the pick there, but still, during all the action, the Immortal went all the way down to the keep wall. And Jungha just came into the fight late, wanted to get some extra soak top, and because he was there late, didn't have the impact that they needed. And even though they won the fight, quote-unquote, MVP Black continues to win the war.
I think with the heroics now, because MVP Black snowballed so hard from the beginning, they're still keeping up. They're still keeping up the momentum. They have a full level, even more ahead. That's why they're even considering this invade now down here, because they spotted Malthael on top. With the speed boot, SD seems to be the target right now.
Okay, we're going in deep. The strafe is used here by Reset. Hooligan comes in very far. It actually works out really well for them because they have the Aegis, but the sound barrier is so well timed with the Sanctification too. Perhaps a little bit of an overlap there, but still, it's enough to turn the fight around. They win, or rather get 2 kills. They win the fight. They get the 2 picks there. I was gonna say they win 2. I guess you could say that if you want to use some weird form of English that I say when I get hyped sometimes. And they have the push in the top lane.
Wow.
Dominance.
The coordination was right there was real. L5 almost had a chance to come back, but the moment the sound barrier came out, they were saying, oh no, we gotta get out of here. And you can't really escape from all the Tracer Blinks and Vala coming at you. With the speed boost of Lucio too. That's exactly what MVP Black was looking for, and they've got it. Very great defensive tools used though at the right timing for L5. That was not the worst case scenario for them.
They definitely could have. It could have been worse. They could have lost the keep from losing the fight harder. So Black just takes the advantage in the Merc timing because they stole the cap, forces L5 to defend. Now their cap is going to go up into the top lane while the Immortal phase is going on. So it's going to force L5 to either react or end up losing more of their keep wall, and eventually that's going to start working on the keep itself. We'll see where the Immortals spawn here as they come up in 2 seconds. Will be the better spawn for MVP Black. They get the freedom to poke this. They won't win the race against Malthael, but they will be able to get the free damage first, and then when this swaps around, that's going to be where